for in the last 14 years. The reason why we've been doing this, the reason why we've been behind this is foundational literacy, foundational early grade reading is supremely important in a child's life. And I think this is like, I compare this to preaching veg to a vegetarian audience, where the 30 of the entire group of us out here, or the principals that have joined in here, parents that have joined in here, already know the importance of reading, but we need to do so much more to spread this out in the world outside, where other people need to know the importance and the reason why early grade reading and creating nation of readers is such an important mission, not only for us, but for nation building in itself. So welcome everyone. I think there'll be a lot of surprises during the entire flow of the event. You'll have a lot of tidbits, so hold on for the next hour. We'll try and keep it as short and sweet as possible and not going to be really boring, long speeches or lectures in this. But what we really want to do is I just want to take a short minute and a very odd minute and give you a quick glimpse of why IRO. I'm sure you would have heard about this from most of the folks you've spoken to within Students to Milestones and fREADom. But the reason why we ended up doing IRO, the reason why we ended up going after IRO and we push schools to say, hey, this is an Olympiad which is very different from what you've done till now, very different from what students have experienced till now, very different from what parents have been exposed to till now, is three things. In 2008, when we started out our journey as an organization to help children learn to read in English, there was no standard benchmarking, there was no standard scale, there was not even a standard assessment to test children on how well they read and how well they how well can they speak, right? And it's taken us literally 14 years to come to where we are today, after having worked with colleagues, collaborators, partners across the world in some of the best universities and best places that you can find. And there, in 2017 is when we took our first step after 10 years of dedicated research in building out a first digital assessment called FAST. Some of you were a part of it. A larger group was a part of it. The central government was a part of it, where in FAST, we worked with ACER, the Australian Council of Educational Research, and the people who do the PISA assessments, the OECD PISA assessments, which are taken all over the globe to rank countries in terms of math, science, and reading specifically, right? So we worked with them, built out a standardized reading assessment for second language English nations specifically. This is the first of its kind. We built it out digitally, and we took it to about 200 schools in the first year and about 2,000 schools in the second year. That is in 2017-18 and 18-19, along with the Jawan Navodaya Vidyalayas and the Kendriya Vidyalayas who took this assessment within the school environments. At that time, it was only a decoding and comprehension assignment, a 40-minute test, which could tell us where students lie. And in 2018, end of 2018, 2019, we launched what we call as India's first reading report called Where India Reads. I'm sure a lot of you have access to it. Aditi, Nagma, if you can put a link to that report right on chat. People who haven't seen that should see that. It was one of the most illuminating reports, quoted very widely across the press, and even to date, used by publications, schools, and universities to kind of share the state of reading in India at this point in time. Having done that, we were then hit by the pandemic, but at the same time, we were also kind of went inside to really understand what is it that the test was missing and what could we do more and how could we leverage technology even better. So we did two things. We partnered not only with ACER, we partnered with Stanford. We have a long-standing relationship with Stanford for the last 4 years. Right now, we have a research lab out there. We partnered with them to build out one of the most sophisticated algorithms that that the world has seen on helping children learn to read in English. We published a paper just last year on that. And we partnered with a very own homegrown university, IIT Bombay, where one huge component which wasn't discussed, which wasn't taken into account, which wasn't even in the ambit of things called oral fluency was taken up, where children can now speak or share a reading passage and we'll be able to tell them where they stand on their reading and speaking journey. And that was supremely crucial because this was happening completely manual. And I think most of you would correlate with this because in your classrooms, each section, each teacher was doing it in their own manner, where inside classrooms, a child would do a impromptu passage or a rote passage, and you would kind of give them marks on 5 on how their oral fluency is. But there was no way to kind of standardize this. So we've been working for the last 7 years in collecting the data required to make a speech algo that's exactly can exactly tell you where children in India or children in second language English lie, basically, even though the dialects are so different. So we try to incorporate this into the assessment. Last year, some of you taken the CMF assessment on the app as a smaller unit of this. And then we put it all together and kind of brought the IRO to you, which we call the third edition, which is the International Reading Olympiad. And a lot of you have been taking it. A lot of you have seen it. A lot of you have experienced it. We're excited to hear a lot of feedback. This is the first time we had kept it completely remote. We did not want to bind schools to do it within the school environments. And we did video proctoring. More on that, on how we got the platform together for that. Maybe the first Olympiad in the country to have been done remotely inside the walls of the child's home, but with complete level of video proctoring, where if the parent was helping the child, we would get to know, and the child was disqualified in that process, in case there was an instance of that. So we took a lot of measures, did a lot of this to make it completely future-proof. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Would love to hear your feedback and your experience and how can we get better. But it's been an incredible experience for us. And looking at the findings, looking at the results, it is something that should keep on going year on year. Without taking more time, I would want Kushal, who's been behind the entire product, the entire experience that most of you had in terms of using the app, going inside the web browser, taking the assessment seamlessly, put together the entire thing, and what the team went through in putting together the entire experience for you guys. Yeah, Kushal.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I think we have teachers and we have principals and we have parents. It's good to have you on us this Saturday morning here. Thanks for taking your time. As Nikhil has mentioned, that a lot of us gone into it, making it a foolproof video proctoring. There is IITB, and a lot of that is in this platform. Literally, the team has made sure that it is child friendly. That right from selecting like what colors to use, right from using whether to have passage on the right side or left side, where to have the scrolls, what should be, and putting on instructions on every part of it, making sure that the children have visibility to the clock that is running out. Everything was taken care of, and every small bit was taken care of when designing the platform. One of the most important thing that we did was we took a lot of learning some of previous experience of the platform that Nikhil mentioned. That was a previous in the first year of fREADom when the students took the test on the FAST platform, taking our experience there from there, learning taking our feedback from there. We got to design this entire platform. The team has literally been behind this, talking to the users, understanding from the users what they want to, what is the platform to go behind it. The feedback was completely put into it. I think would love to hear more feedback on the platform, basically, and on the content on the platform from all of you. We had got a few feedbacks from the team and the schools and the school principals, and I was very happy to read to this. We have almost got around 90% of users think that we have done a very good job on creating the platform, and I was very happy on it. I would like to go more into those 10% and maybe understand what we could do better. But right now in India, this is the platform with fully end-to-end proctoring involved, right from you start the test till you end the test. And in that, we see that, okay, there is no malpractices being followed by a child, or parents are not helping or teachers are not helping to them. This test is not only can be taken into the at the luxury of the home for the users, but schools can also take it going forward into their classrooms or into their computer lab. That was facility also we have. So next year when we all are enrolling for it, we will you can also take that that test into your school labs. So yeah, and there is a very sophisticated technology behind this. When you speak, when the children are speaking and reading the passages, there is IITD tech involved into it behind it, where when you read it, you get to know, okay, how much you have scored onto it. So yeah, would love to hear more about it and how can it better the platform, and handing it over to Nagma.
Well, thank you, Kushal. Thank you for that. So yeah, I mean, we used a lot of brains, we used a lot of muscle to kind of get this through. But I hope the experience was as enjoyable, even though the tech behind it is maybe confusing right now. But I hope children had a good experience, parents had a good experience, you as school leaders had a good experience, and I think that's what matters. What matters is, are we taking reading forward? Children now are understanding why reading is important. Parents are now questioning, why is the IRO important? Why did my child score here like this? Why did my child score like that? How can we improve? And I think those conversations are supremely important. So let's dive into some of the learnings we had via IRO. Aditi, who heads academics and impact at Students to Milestones, has been here for the last literally 10 plus years, has been spearheading this initiative right from day one. It was her idea to build a benchmarking scale for reading, to really understand where children are, and to kind of go against the tide and say we'll do it grounds up as an organization and kind of rally everyone to do this. So Aditi, all over to you.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, and a very happy morning to everyone here.
Aditi, mute, yeah.
Can you all hear me? Great.
Yes.
Very, very exciting to be here. I mean, it's always a great start to, great start or a great end to a week when you're with people who believe in something as strongly as you do. I'm quickly going to get into the insights that we gleaned from the International Reading Olympiad. We had lots of participants from grades 1 to 8 who did this assessment. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just run us through some very important things that we have found. Are you all able to see my screen? Great.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, wonderful. And it's readable?
Perfectly well.
Super, great. So, overall we had, we had lots of children who participated in the IRO. These are just the number of children who participated per grade. And the most important thing to understand is that the reading process itself, it has two parts, right? One is decoding and the other is meaning making. And one is incomplete without the other. A very simple way to understand this is if you can see the word process here, PROCESS, the ability to make sure that PROCESS is equal to process is decoding, and meaning making or comprehension is understanding what it means, right? So the meaning of the word process is something that happens in a step-by-step fashion. So in the reading process, we look at decoding and comprehension both. When we talk about decoding, we mean, what is the read aloud accuracy and the pronunciation accuracy of what you are reading aloud. And the IRO was designed to measure all of these skills in a very comprehensive manner. So the decoding was measured via the oral reading fluency piece, and the meaning making was assessed via unseen comprehension passages, which were grade appropriate with corresponding multiple choice questions. And oral reading fluency for all of us who have gathered here is the ability to read text quickly, accurately with expression. Okay. The scoring was as follows. The whole assessment was a 40-mark assessment. There was 1 mark per question in the comprehension section, and the oral reading fluency section as a whole was out of 10 marks. There was absolutely no negative marking. And the marking system was the same for children in grades 1 to 8. This is a glimpse of the platform. As Kushal very rightly mentioned earlier, a lot of care was taken into how the text appeared, how the questions appeared, what happened on the left, what happened on the right, the timer, the passages, making it very, very easy for a child, especially a young child, to navigate. This is what the platform is. And let's go into the insights section. This is what is most important. Like the oral reading fluency section, that was out of 10, and comprehension was out of 30. WCPM refers to the words that a child has read correctly per minute, which is the measure or the marker of oral reading fluency. So the grade averages for words read correctly per minute are increasing with grade, as you can see. However, if we look at comprehension averages across the board, which is how well a child is able to understand something, they are declining with grade as opposed to what it should be. And even if we look at the minimum scores, across each grades, the minimum scores are also declining, which is kind of widening the gap. And the pandemic has made things, quite difficult. And this is a representation of that. In comprehension, we measured the children's skills across 4 sub-skills, right? Retrieving, inferring, interpreting, and evaluating. These are 4 kinds of comprehension skills. Very simply, retrieve is as simple as having a passage which said, oh, Nikhil is wearing a beige jacket today. What is the color of Nikhil's jacket? Beige. That is a retrieval kind of question. Very, very simple. Evaluating kind of a question is something that's a little bit more deeper, that requires a child to have an understanding of all the other aspects seen and unseen in a passage. And these skills are important across all grades, right, in different levels. Now, if you look at the scores across the skill sets, they may look good at first glance, because you're looking at, this is the accuracy rate that children have scored in different grades across different skills. But if you look at the gap between the easiest comprehension skill, which is retrieval, and the hardest skill, which is evaluate, the difference is very, very big, right? About a 24% difference, or a 34% difference, or a 39% difference in how well you're able to do the easiest thing and how well you're able to do the hardest thing, right? And so this shows that the way we assess, in the sense, the whole education community, the way we assess, we pay more attention to memory rather than application. And so when children are also taught to comprehend something, we're not inviting them to go deeper. We're not inviting them to connect different things in a piece of text. We're literally just focusing on the most kind of shallow retrieval aspect. And so children don't have the tools they need to extrapolate this and to deal with the kinds of questions that are asked, which is something that was, when you look at this, it's like a splash of cold water on a winter morning on your face, because this is something that's very, very important. And if we look at vocabulary as well, right, because along with comprehension, the passage is also measured a child's vocabulary. And within vocabulary, we looked at word meaning and words in context. Word meaning is very simple, which is how, what is the meaning of a certain word, very direct questions. And words in context are questions that, invite you to make sense of a word based on, the sentence around the word. And if you see the word meaning also, there is a sharp decline in the new words that children know directly. If you look at grade 2, if you look at grade 3, if you look at grade 6, the number of new words children know, it's kind of declining with age, which should not be the case. So while children are able to understand what new words mean from context, they are not adding vastly to their vocabulary bank. So when children have to express something or talk about something, they keep using the same words over and over again. Say, for example, they could say something like, Nikhil takes care of his health. He likes eating a healthy food. So children will keep repeating healthy food, healthy food, healthy food. They will not know how to use something like, say, nutritious, or something like, beneficial in a different way. So this is a lot of learning, right? Where words in context is something that's easy, but new words and acquisition of new words and understanding what new words mean, it is happening at a much lesser and a slower pace than what we may like. And moving on from comprehension to oral reading fluency, as a part of our assessment, we measured the words that children are able to read correctly per minute, the pronunciation accuracy, and the speech rate. Speech rate is the number of syllables a child is able to read aloud and speak per second, right? It's about the speed to make it simple for all of us. Now, if you look at the speech rate, right? If you look at the speed, then we can see that grade wise, it's increasing with age, as it should be. Children, the older they get, the faster they read, because they know how to read a lot of the words on the screen. However, if we look at what they are reading correctly, not only what they are reading or how fast they are reading, but what they are reading correctly, that is not increasing as it should with age. There is still quite a flat plateau and quite a few peaks and troughs. And if you look at the speed, it's kind of going, it's kind of going up. So we need, as educators, as parents, we have to make sure that when we are inviting children to read aloud, our focus is not only on speed. Focus is on accuracy along with speed, right? And if you look at the national averages, because we've been doing this assessment for a long time, the children who took the IRO, while they did phenomenally well, we are still kind of at a grade level aggregate, we are slightly far from the national averages that we have. And if we look at pronunciation as well, pronunciation scores were given out of 10. There is no drastic increase in the words that children are reading correctly or the pronunciation accuracy. If you look at the average pronunciation scores across all grades, the jump is not as evident as it should be. So this also paints a picture of what we as educators think important for our children, right? It is speed above all else. And we have to make sure that when we are inviting children to read, we are focusing more on WCPM and the words that they're reading correctly. We're focusing more on pronunciation, punctuation over speed. And this was extremely important for us to understand. So revisiting, if you look at comprehension, the skills that children are learning, the focus is still on the bottom skills and not on the top skills. We need to kind of make sure that in accordance with what the national education policy also talks about, we have to make sure that children are able to comprehend with a lot of depth. They're able to connect between different things in a text. And when we talk about oral reading fluency, speed is the least of our concerns, right? We have to be able to read correctly, accurately, using punctuations in a way that others are able to understand and appreciate what we are here to say. And there is, of course, a lot more. I've condensed it as much as I could. But all of us will also have access to, these scores and this report that will be shared with you later on. So this was like a crash course in what we learned because of the International Reading Olympiad. And I think it happened at a very, very, very opportune time, because children have gone to schools for about 7-8 months now after the pandemic. And it's very important that teachers are aware of what children need the most amount of intervention with at different grade levels, in order to make sure that in the next academic year, which starts in the next 3 months, we're able to considerably reduce the gap between what the pandemic has done to the children, and also make sure that reading and comprehension gets a much larger place in our hearts and our timetables both. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi. I think that was wonderful. Kind of trying to summarize all the insights into like a 5-minute presentation. I think a very difficult job, but thank you so much. I'm sure everyone attending was able to pick something out. Would really like any big learning that you picked out of it, and if you can put that on chat, will help us also understand what you took away from the insights that I threw at us.
Nikhil, let me just share one more thing, which I think is very important and I forgot. So, we also did a survey of what the parents and the children who did the assessment, what they felt about it, right? So, if you look at the way the sections in the assessment were rated, so most of the parents felt that whatever the children did in the comprehension section or the oral reading fluency section, everything was just perfect for their child. So in terms of something being age appropriate, it was, it was bang on. It was not too hard. It was not too easy. It was quite perfect for all children. And the results that we are seeing is for the kind of material that was deemed perfect for children, right? So children should have performed a bit better than they did. Everything was interesting. It was enjoyable. Even the oral reading fluency passages were perfect for the children. So what I'm trying to say because of this is that what children should do and what they should be able to do, that has not changed. The expectation has not changed, nor have the skills expected from children changed. But because of the attention that we pay to reading as children grow older. If you look at the scores that children in grade 1 and grade 2 have received, we can see that reading is very important for their parents and their teachers. But as children grow older, there are other things that come in the mix, which impacts the reading comprehension piece. But it's so crucial because if you don't comprehend, you don't comprehend anything you learn in an English medium school. So that is something that that we should stay with. English is a skill, reading is a skill. It's not something to be done, in your pastime. I mean, it can be, but it's not the only purpose that it serves, right? So that's, yeah. Thanks, Nikhil.
No, yes, I think reiterating the fact that English is a skill, is a life skill, is supremely important. I think it's been too long that we've looked at English as a subject, as one more subject to be taught inside the classroom. Parents have just expected children to speak in English, and I think it's very important to look at it as a life skill, because as they grow older, as they kind of mature, either both academically and professionally, it kind of forms the bedrock of everything that they do right now, especially coming from English medium schools,
Yes.
right? So thank you so much for putting this together,
No.
Aditi. And for everyone who wasn't able to catch everything, maybe it was just too much information in a very short time, we will be mailing this to you, so you will have access to this. One of the big reasons we do IRO, we do FAST, we do these assessments year on year is so that we can collect these insights and share it with the world outside, so that not only you, not only me, everyone benefits from this out there. We still see the rippling effect or the butterfly effects of the FAST report we put out 3 years back. And I think doing this report on a regular basis is our way of giving back to the society. And thank you so much for helping us put this together and participating in this and making the world that much better and children that much smarter in their own reading and academic journey. So thank you so much. Before we now, I know what everyone's waiting for. Everyone's waiting for the awards. Everyone's waiting for who's won, what the results are, and I think that always adds a bit of suspense. That always adds an element of excitement. And even we want to get to that, but just before we go to that, I want to share a very quick brief on what happens next. Most of the schools out here and educators out here have been with us on the last 2.5 year journey, where they've used the fREADom app, they've taken a quick CMF or a speech assessment on the app. There have been children who've done well. Their children continue to use the app or reap the benefits of the app, all pretty much free of cost, completely. And then some of them have registered for IRO, some of them qualified for IRO directly as a merit lister, some of them registered for IRO and took the IRO and are now here. And now the results are out or will be out in some time. But what next for schools? What next for children? How do we kind of carry this forward into the next year? How do we kind of carry the initiative year on year? What do we do in the coming academic year or now, so that children are better prepared, so that more children are able to take the assessment, more children are able to kind of understand where they are, schools are able to understand where they are and take a more informed call, and in a much more comprehensive manner. And hence, what we've done is, all of you have heard about Club One VR. I think everyone, all the schools, we have about 2,500-3,000 schools that are part of the entire community right now, maybe the largest reading community in the world. Let's take a moment and kind of just soak that in. Over the last 2.5 years, we were able to put together one of the largest reading communities the world's ever seen, with about 2,500, 3,000 schools across the country, not only India, but even Middle East and South Korea being a part of it. Schools are there who are a part of the Club 1 billion readers, enabling us and in our mission to get to 1 billion readers by 2030. 1 billion, you heard that right. Not million, not 10 million, 1 billion with a B readers by 2030. That's the vision. And I think your support is supremely important in making that happen. But as we take the next step, the effort at our end is to make it a lot more structured. A lot of you have had access to the app. A lot of you have had access to the perks that come with being a part of Club One VR. But this year, we are coming up with a way of making it a bit more structured, giving you even more value than what we've ever given, and making it literally a benchmark in the industry in terms of being a part of a loyalty program or a program where it's a mission where we all come together for good. Nagma, can we have that slide?
Yes, definitely.
So starting this year, not only will you have access to the app, the full access to the app for all your children, which, by the way, just so that all of you know, and it's recorded, is at a premium of 1,500 rupees per child on the Play Store or the App Store. So if a parent had to go and access that independently and not via the school, they would be paying anywhere close to 1,400, 1,500 bucks per year to access that, which you get access to as a part of 1BR at absolutely no cost. Now, as a school, you go ahead and charge parents for it. Is completely your call. Is completely left to the discretion of the schools and the leaders out there. But not only the app right now, we are doing dedicated storytelling sessions. Our partners at HarperCollins and Penguin have promised us the best of authors, the choicest of authors. In fact, we have a Sudha Murthy online session coming up in January, which is going to be huge with a new book launch, and specifically after her son-in-law's recent win as the British Prime Minister. So that's going to be really huge coming up in January. You'll be hearing from us very soon. And all of this is exclusively only for Club 1BR schools that are a part of it, that have been in our ambit. There are fluency tests that you did last year on the app, which is free of cost, apart from the 1BR piece, apart from the IRO that most schools took up, which is a paid assessment because it was registered and it was the Olympiad. But apart from that, the fluency test that happened last year in most of the schools will continue. You'll have a lot of early bird perks to a lot of our other programs, performance reports monthly. So this is something we've been wanting to do for a very long time, but you'll now have dedicated performance reports for all your children just as a part of 1BR every month delivered to you without fail. So you'll be able to see how many stories have been read, how many reading minutes have been clocked. And this is supremely important to make sure children are motivated, parents are motivated, librarians are involved in looking at the data and understanding where children are, where they aren't. Literary events, we've been organizing literature festivals for I don't know how many years. We hosted India's largest literature festival a few years back, and this year we have a lot more lined up. Access to those literary events, children having access to those workshops, children having access to those authors, all as a part of it, and special discounts to really choiciest of the books that make it to our list. So we've been curating books for you, but you'll have access, very, very special access and discounts to choices of books, either for your library or for your students, where we can promise you, like never before and never seen, you'll have access to some of the books firsthand, even before they go out. For in fact, with the Sudha Murthy session coming along, she's promised us that she's going to do signed copies only for Club 1BR folks, a set of signed copies only for Club 1BR folks. So if you're a part of it, you'll hear a lot from us. So we're trying to make this into a club which is a lot more rigorous, a lot more community-based, a lot more dependent on you and run by you rather than by us. So we'll facilitate these events, but the core meat or the core energy of these events is you, who makes it what it is, makes a club what it is. As a part of this piece, we will be looking at taking interest from you and kind of re-signing up folks again. We really want this community to be a community of schools who are very interested and completely clued on versus just one more club they're a part of, and really contribute back to it, having principal roundtables, teacher roundtables, goal for events as we've had in the past as a part of the club offering. And hence we'll be doing memberships all over again. So I think Nagma shared a quick link on chat. If you're interested, if you want to be a part of it, open the link, just express your interest and a team will get in touch with you. If you want to continue, people who renew and continue will have access to all of this. And we're just changing the format a bit so that all of us are a lot more disciplined in the way we kind of run this entire piece and the benefits we've reaped out over the last couple of years. So that's about it. Now let's dive into the core ceremony, the award ceremony. Over to Aditi and Nagma for it.
Actually, we are here for the most excited segment altogether. I hope you are excited. But before that, before we announce, if you have any quick questions or quick things to share, anybody wants to have a quick 30 minutes, 30
maybe we
seconds,
can have one or two. Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
one or two voices. Anyone who wants to share either on the insights or what you heard till now, or what you enjoyed most about the entire experience. You can just
Nagma,
quickly raise your hand.
Would it be possible for you to also spotlight yourself and maybe turn your video on? I don't think. Yeah.
I will do that. But then I think more than me, I think my screen share will needs to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Nobody has any
Any
insights?
raised hands? Any raised hands?
We have Shaurya, who's raised his hand.
Lovely. Let's hear Shaurya.
We have a couple who've raised their hands.
Can you get them to open their mic? Nagma?
Yeah. I've given the permission to talk. You can actually unmute and talk.
Adiksha, you'll have to unmute and share. Yeah, go ahead, Adiksha.
I think one thing I get as a feedback, like kids get more into that screen time. Like if they have to read a story, they spend a lot of their time in front of a tab or a laptop. This is not a negative feedback. It's more like, will there be an option where they get that they start that cultivation of reading the books, how this content, which is in digital, can be translated to the paper so that they they don't strain their eyes, but at the same time, they get the practice as well.
Superb, Atisha, I got your question. And thank you so much for it. I really wanted to kind of highlight this, but we're running out of time. But what I'll do is I'll quickly address this and maybe send you a more detailed response on email for this as well. So screen time, we are all aware of it. In fact, that's something that we ourselves are supremely careful about and very, very itchy about. And hence we developed a concept called good screen time and bad screen time. Today, a child spends about anywhere close to 52 hours a week on YouTube. 52 hours a week on YouTube, just imagine. And that's just data from a research that came out last year, where they spend about 52 plus hours a week on YouTube. Now, having spent so much time on YouTube, our first effort is with the children, can we rein them off a channel which is not healthy for them? And you'll be surprised to know, or maybe even happy to know, that today in houses where freedom lives, freedom survives, freedom is used, we have been able to reclaim 22.5% of the time that children were using YouTube for. And I think that itself is a big win in terms of what consumption was happening. If children are reading stories, consciously doing reading in that time versus watching YouTube mindlessly, I think that itself is a very big win for all of us, and we should celebrate that. At least we celebrate that. And as a bridge to that, our effort is, and we've seen that happen for most children as they get involved in reading the physical books or books on the library and national extension. And that's where we as an organization work very closely with schools with the via reading programs to make the entire ecosystem come together. So as you might know, or may be aware, that fREADom is only the tip of the iceberg for the organization. We have deep programs where we engage with schools one-on-one over the course of the academic year, over 3 years, 5 years, to really transform the entire reading experience and journey, and make the libraries more useful, classrooms more useful, teachers more adept, and really get into the science of reading and get children to read. So that's a quick answer just for now. I hope it's helpful, and we'll do a detailed one. Thank you, Atiksha. Cool. Let's get into the winners.
I think that's now the most exciting thing. Everybody, your eyes glued onto the screen.
Let me just take one second here, Nagma, to talk about how we calculated the winners. So it's important for all of us to know that this calculation is not only based on your total score, right? Because hundreds of children could be on the same score. When we created the questions for the IRO, each question was tagged in the background as difficult or easy. And there is a different weighted score associated with each of these questions. So, in case we came to a situation where, say, there were 15 children who scored 35 out of 40, do they all get the same grade? No. We look at 4 things here. First, we look at how the children have performed on the more tougher questions compared to the easier questions. 2, in the oral fluency section, we look at how their pronunciation scores are better. So the words read correctly per minute is one thing, but then we also do pronunciation scores, right? So then we look at how well children have performed on that scale. And then, using certain mathematical formulae, the overall winners are calculated. So it's important for all of us to register that it's not a totaling exercise, nor is it like an averages exercise. There is a very comprehensive formulae that goes on behind the scenes to calculate who the winning children are. And, I just wanted us to know that before we move on. Thanks, Nagma.
And definitely, yes, we are always in touch. So once you start looking through your reports, once you have any clarifications, please feel free to get in touch with us at any point, and we are always going to be there to clarify those for you. Okay, so while I'm announcing the results, I just also wanted to add in one more point, especially for the school categories where we have picked up the winners. We have added one more criteria in terms of selecting the winners. If the participant numbers has been really low from the school overall, we have considered a minimum number of participants of being 10 for schools to be eligible to become a winner. So this doesn't affect your school report and performance understanding overall, but from a winning consideration, given that we have a lot of averages coming into play, this rule has been applied. So I just wanted this to be clear. Okay, now that's time. So now we're first and foremost moving to the overall winners. So now the winners purely based out on their marks and their performance. International level, we do have our gold and silver medalists available here. So that's Gayatri Pingle. I think you and your parents are available on the call. If you are, please raise your hands and we would really love to hear from you. And Shaurya, are you here? Shaurya has raised a hand. Aditi, if you can just manage the permissions while I'm screen sharing.
Yeah, sure. Shaurya, you can talk now. You can unmute
You deserve
yourself.
the space. Congratulations, and you deserve the space.
Woohoo!
Come forward.
He's very happy, and so we are. I mean, thanks to all of you and the efforts taken by all of you.
That's Gayatri Pingle from SSRVM. We think we have the principal also here, ma'am. Congratulations to you and the school. Both of them are here, and Shaurya is from Army Public School. Great moment, great winning. It's time to
Do we
move
have the
to
principal of either of the schools here? Do we have the principal or teachers or any leaders from Army Public School, Chennai or SSRVM Pune? Okay, we'll move on for now.
Yeah.
And also
Okay, so
letting
now
the
we are moving
children.
to our zonal level winners. So now,
Please continue, Nagma. Yes.
So now that we have done with the international, congratulations, Gayatri and Shaurya, once again. You really do deserve a huge round of applause. We're now moving on to a zonal level winner. So we've considered all the participants. We've divided the participants in India to 4 zones: North, South, East, and West. And first, we want to announce a winner for North zones. There are 2 categories. So like I've explained before, as how we have considered the number of participants from the school as a consideration for the winners. So similar way, we've also divided the winners into 2 different categories.
Sorry
So
for
one will
interrupting.
be 10 to 19 participants within the school, and the second category is more than 20 participants in the school.
Sorry for
So
interrupting.
here comes-
I'm
Nagma, 1
Shaurya's
second. Yes.
mother, actually. I wanted to know that international winner Shaurya has got this silver medal. How many participants were there at this level?
Ma'am, at the international level, over the entire year, this has been a phased event. Over the and I wanted to actually share this as well. Over the entire year, we've had more than 200,000 children using the app, going through the phases to get to this stage. So it's not just the IRO. We've gone through an entire couple of years of pandemic, as well as children getting qualified and coming to the last stage. So more than 200,000, where over the last day, about 5,000 plus folks ended up doing the last assessment, which is the IRO, and got selected for that specifically. So this is a short list of over 200,000, which came down to about 10,000 folks, which came down to the last set of folks who did it. So really, it's a huge moment, I would say, for both Shaurya and Gayatri, for having won in such a big stage with almost 2,500 schools being a part of it. So this is pretty immense. Congratulations to Shaurya and Gayatri.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nagma.
Yes. So moving on to the North Zone. Here you go, the big reveal. North Zone and South Zone. There is a winner and a runner-up. South Zone, also winner and runner-up. Veronica, Shaurya Vats. So that's Elizabeth Shaurya again. Mohammad Aman and Atiksha. Any of you are here?
Yes, Atiksha's parents are here. Congratulations.
So remaining 2 zones, please
And Veronica is also here, as is Mohammad Aman.
I think I should also reveal the other 2 zones.
I'll just, I'm giving
Let's just get
talking
them
permission.
together.
Yes.
Okay, so that's East and West Zone winners as well.
Oh wow, we have Swarnim, Shrishi Academy,
Yada,
Children's
and
Academy,
Trisha.
Maple Bear, all really leading schools in every sense of the way across the country. So good to see some of these children do well and top their individual zones. Amazing.
I think we also have Diara here. Diara, are you here? Diara's parents? Mohammad
Aman is
Aman
also
is
here.
Yes.
Good morning. This is Mohammad Aman's parent here.
Good morning.
It's really been a pleasure. And thank you so much for your efforts towards this platform. Thank you very much.
I'm just meanwhile sharing the certificates as well because these are amazing good reveals.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Diara Shah's mom.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Diara would like to say something.
Please.
I like to read in fREADom.
Oh, thank you, Diara. That's so kind of you. And what did you learn from the test that you did?
I learned to read nicely.
And you learn to pay attention when you read, no?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you, fREADom app, for this giving this wonderful opportunity. Yes, we had gone through this the initial insight which you had given. It's very important just to know that where exactly the the student line, what exactly need to focus more. So
Yes.
It's a wonderful platform. So this is just a one level. Now we just came to realize like now what further improvement we need to do for our daughter. So obviously this is fREADom app has given us a wonderful opportunity. Now we don't need to go anywhere else. This, I guess, everything is sorted here at one place. So thank you for creating such a wonderful app.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Veronica?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
How are you feeling, Veronica?
A little bit good.
Only a little bit good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What will make you feel even more amazing?
Stories.
Stories. And you, for that, you have?
fREADom.
Yes, exactly. Yay.
We should have recorded that. That's the best advertisement we could have ever got.
Congratulations, Veronica. We're very proud of you. And we are sure your parents in your school are also equally proud of you. Very, very well done.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulations to all the individual winners. We will be emailing you your certificates soon after the event. I will be personally emailing all your soft copies soon after that. Please do shout out about it. Share it with all your loved ones. If you're sharing it anywhere on social media, please do remember to tag us. Now moving on to schools. There we go with the winners. So I have the category mentioned as well. I would really love to see if the principals are here. Galaxy School, Are you here by chance? Southern School, Chandigarh, Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir, Bengaluru, and DPS East, Bengaluru.
Congratulations to all the schools.
Congratulations to all
Amazing.
schools. Yes.
All the leading schools you had the pleasure of interacting with. Manila ma'am from DPS East, if you're here. Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir, Bengaluru, again, one of the leading schools in the state. Sopinch Chandigarh, we all know. I think we've all been inspired by the school in the past, and even the Galaxy School, Wadi, Gujarat. So happy to see all of you. Are any of the leaders, teachers, principals from these schools here? If you can raise your hands, we will get you to share.
I'm not seeing any hand raises, so I think I should move on. Quick question. There is a question from Atika. Okay, while we tackle that, I'm moving on to the zonal level winners. Congratulations to these 4 schools. Amazing achievements. I think more than our school, our teammates who were in touch with the schools were extremely happy to see the results. So now moving on to zonal level winners. Here we go for North. So as you can see, we did not have a school in North who had fit into all the criteria for the silver over 20 participants category, which is why there is only 1 school there. So City Montessori School, Uttar Pradesh, Father Agnel School, New Delhi, OPG World School, Delhi. Anybody of you here? It got the RSVPs. I hope you're here.
Let's move on, Nagma.
South Zone winners. DPS Bangalore East, DPS North, IGCSE, DAV Tamil Nadu, and DPS again, North Bangalore. DPS has completely backed this off. Anybody from DPS is here? And DAV Tamil Nadu?
Let's move on.
Moving on again to East Zone, Delhi Public School, Howrah, and Sri Sri Academy, Kolkata.
So basically, just to let everybody know why these school level awards are important, it's that, we've had 20, 30, 40, 50 children joining in from schools to do the IRO, right? And if you look at the average scores of the children who have participated in the IRO from that school, those average scores are quite high. However, for a school, a school could only have 5 children, or a school could have 50 children participate. So when we are calculating the averages and the winners, the schools who have won the IRO as a whole, it's important to kind of consider the strength of the school as well when we are selecting the winners. So, because a school with 2 children versus a school with 20 children, having the same average, when a school with 20 has the same average, it obviously means that all the children have performed really well. And so that is the, the reason why we're saying how many number of, what is the total number of children who have participated from each school. And I think we're already at 11, Nagma. So now that we are done with the individual
West Zone
winner,
has also been announced at Jumeirah Global School, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Mulnoor, Nepal Public School, and Children's Academy, Mumbai.
Super.
So there is just one category we did want to just recognize in between the whole IRO process are the school winners of the highest student turnout, because school's encouragement has been our biggest support throughout the entire IRO process. And these schools, especially overall winners being Sri Shankara and DAV Tamil Nadu, we really thank you for all the effort that you have taken.
In fact, for Sri Shankara School, I have to say that they had 124 children from grade 1 and 2 who participated in the IRO, and they've all scored quite well as well. So, big round of applause to Sri Shankara Senior Secondary School, which is coincidentally also from Tamil Nadu. They are from Chennai.
Safe to say that Chennai takes the reading very seriously.
It's been such an illuminating and such an eye-opening thing to see when we put all the data together, when we are looking at how children are performing, when we're looking at the kind of importance that different schools and school leaders also give to reading. I'm very happy to say that because of the pandemic, the place that reading has had in the schools, in the libraries, in the timetables, that has all gone very, very high, right? Because everyone knows that comprehension is not happening. We need to kind of push that. This IRO and the school's acceptance to the IRO and also the school's acceptance to the Club 1 Billion Readers program is a big indication to how the tides are turning. There is a question from, there are two questions, I believe, on chat. One is, where exactly will the certificates and the medals be sent? Will we be sending it to schools or to the home? And Shaurya's parent, if you can also put your question on chat. Yeah, and you can also email. Great. Dagma, would you be taking that question?
So for the winners, what we will also do is we will be getting back in touch with you because we do not have your addresses. We have only your school addresses. So for the winners especially, we would take the trouble to get back in touch with you. We will call you one by one. Please share with us your addresses.
Share your address. Yes, but all the certificates and all the accolades will be shared with the school and distributed in the assembly. It will not be sent out individually at home. You will have the digital certificates and the digital images to be shared on social media and to enjoy that. But for the medals and the course certificates, they'll be sent to your school. So reach out to your school, collect from them. They should be receiving it very, very soon from us.
And the schools as well, your awards, you also have your awards being sent from us to you. So you'll be getting that very soon. Super. I've dropped them 2 email IDs in case you still have any further questions. Plus, you will be hearing back from me or my team members regarding IRO.
Thank you so much, Nagma. And thank you so much to all the attendees who are here today. Nikhil, any last words from you before we close for the day?
No, thank you so much, everyone, for kind of making this event happen, for participating in this wholeheartedly, for going through all the issues, glitches that you might have faced, and for taking it as seriously as we do out here. We only wish for this to continue year on year, for the movement to get bigger, for more schools to get attached. If you have friends, if you have family, if you have other schools, tell them about it, get them to be a part of 1BR, get them to be part of a larger reading community. Over time, we've seen schools who were skeptical on the sidelines come into the fold and really benefit from it and not realize the kind of difference it's made to the students, to the parents, to the entire ecosystem of the school and what children can achieve over time. And in 14 years, we've been doing this, and trust us, the transformation we've seen in schools, which kind of caught on early and gotten on early, is absolutely amazing and fantastic. So get on the train. It's now a big movement. It's no longer a small citywide 5-10 school movement. We have about 3,000 plus schools. This year, our target is to get to about 25,000 schools across the country. And with your help and support, we truly wish we'll be able to get there. And thank you so much for participating wholeheartedly in the entire exercise and giving us the feedback to improve. Thank you. Again, congratulations to all the winners. Making it to the top is never easy. We'll never know the kind of effort you put into it and the reason why you're at the top, but this is your moment to shine. So bask in it, celebrate, tell the world, shout out loud, cheer yourself in the assembly, do the grand giveaways. And for parents who are here, take them out today and have fun with them. Let them celebrate and enjoy this, and let them read that one extra story beyond their screen time and enjoy it on the app. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, the entire team, for putting it together. Nagma, Felicita, and the entire team for putting this together, the entire show together the way we have.
Thank you. Atiksha, Anil's parents, I think you have one more question. I just saw it on chat. I'm just going to put the email here again. You can reach out to us in case of any questions. Yes, you will have digital copies of your certificates, don't worry.
You will get
and
all your digital copies today itself. Personally mailing it to all of you.
we'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much, Nikhil, Nagma.